Hello! We only have 7 more guys to do today, so let's do this. I'm just trying to figure out some lighting. Whoops. So something like that. And then we do, how are we going to do this? We want to move this over, I think. Maybe I should have done this before starting the stream, but who cares? Okay, hi Martin. Does this lighting work better or for the close-up? You have to tell me. I have no idea. I hope it's a bit better at least. Okay, so we're doing the finishing touches on these 7 guys today. And we are not stopping until we are finished. And we will try not to rush it also. Even though we want to finish this. So today is Ascension Day, which is some kind of, guess it's Christian. Day. I'm not that religious, but usually this weekend in Sweden we have a large gaming convention, but not this year, obviously. And it's and that gaming convention is in my town, and I think I started going to that convention in 92, 93, somewhere around that. So I think the first t-shirt, they always produce like t-shirts and stuff. I think my first t-shirt from that is from like 94 or 5 or something. So usually this weekend we would have been playing loads and loads and loads of games. It's usually like me and two other guys used to run the 40k tournament. We did that for like 5 or 6 years, maybe, something like that. And then we had loads of help from other people also. So like Martin, who is in the chat, he used to help out a lot, but we haven't had the convention, no, the tournament for like, I don't know, 5-ish years maybe. But it was kind of fun trying to organize tournaments for people. We have started talking about yes, the convention has a large barbecue out on the backside of the convention, and that is where Martin worked, was in the chat. I think they had basically the same 10-ish people or 5-ish people running the barbecue for many, many years. But now I think they are going to try to have the gaming convention this fall instead. I don't know when. And it's still undecided if we are going to do any tournaments or anything. The gaming convention has fluctuated basically between 1,500 and 2,000 people, and it's a they do call it a 5-day event because it starts on the Wednesday and ends on the Sunday, but it's actually basically only Thursday to Saturday where there is any gaming going on. And I think it's like the second oldest gaming convention in Sweden that is still running. There is one in Gothenburg that is older, I think, but that is the oldest ones. And we also have a quite large university here. This is a university town, and the largest local gaming club with like 300-ish members is came about from the students at the university. So it's basically a student thing that then got converted into a proper gaming club, basically. And I have up until basically 5 years ago, I was very active in that club, but not anymore. Now I do all my gaming at home instead. Instead of at the club. Oh. I tend to go all in on stuff like that, so it got to be a bit too much for me. So I had to stop. But it was very fun. We had the club that we had rented basically a basement where, and everyone that was a member had a key. And we had like gaming tables and terrain and everything, and it was so you could if you wanted to play a battle in the middle of the night, you could. And I think we had the first the second like space we rented for our gaming club was an old dentist office. So it had loads of different rooms. So we had like dedicated role-playing areas with like sofas and stuff, and we had one room that was all miniature wargaming and basically related to painting. So we had a hobby room in the gaming club, and that eventually led us to have we rented another basement at another place just for the miniature wargamers, which also was open 24/7. So I have spent a lot of time there. I think I have been a miniature wargamer since now I have to count. I've heard that counting on stream is not good. So but basically since 1990 or 91 maybe, and I've only taken basically 1 year of miniature wargaming since then. So and but I have like done loads of. There was a couple of years ago, 2, 3 maybe, where I played loads and loads and loads of board games instead. I still painted a lot. Maybe 4 years ago, maybe. I still painted and played regular miniature war games, but I think I considered myself more of a board gamer then, but now I don't play that many board games anymore. Even though I bought one very recently. I bought 2 actually. I was on a stream with no, sounded like I was participating. I was watching a stream that Wardrobe Plays World War II had, and he talked about Heroes of Normandy, which is a game from let's see. It's a game from... Where's the box? Is it from GMT? I think it's from GMT. No, it's from Lock and Load Publishing. It's basically a I don't know. Is it a simpler version of ASL? Much simpler version of ASL. And then I was on. I was watching Heathwill streaming like 2 weeks ago maybe, and he was going through the Age of Dogfight box, which is a World War I airplane game, and World War I is if there is such a thing as a favorite war, for me that is World War I. It's not very noticed in my miniature wargaming collection, even though I have quite a lot of World War I stuff. But I haven't gotten around to painting anything because I have focused on doing World War II, which obviously is from a gaming standpoint, more popular period than World War I. But personally, for me, I would want to play much more of World War I. The problem with World War I is that most people only think about the trench war, and there is so much more to World War I than just the trench war. So, for instance, the first couple of months in World War I, like Western Europe, I won't say they didn't dig into the ground and sit in trenches, but it became more common late in 1914 than in the early period. And I would like to since the war basically started in Serbia, Bosnia, former Yugoslavia. I would like to play some battles based on that, like the Austro-Hungarian invasion and stuff. Even though Austria-Hungary maybe wasn't the best army in the world. Far from. And then the East Front in World War I was not as much trench warfare as the Western Front. And then you have like Ottoman Empire, and so there's so much more to World War I than people usually think. So that is something I would like to explore in a wargaming setting. Because I have quite a lot of. I say quite a lot. I have a bunch of like X and Counter World War I games. I've only played a couple, so that is also something I want to do. The interesting thing about the Age of Dogfight game that I bought was that the printed version of the game cost €179 excluding shipping, but I bought the print and play version. There you got the game for €14, so less than 1/10. But then you get the hassle of having to make everything, but you don't really need to make everything at the start. You can basically, you need the game board and you need a couple of airplanes, and each airplane has a sheet of data for it. So it's one counter and one data sheet for each airplane. So you only need to print that basically, and then the game board, which is, well, pages, I think. 12 A4 pages. And then you're set to go. So the only thing I need to find is a good it's called gray board. It's like 1.5–2 millimeter thick carton something or other. It's kind of hard to find here in Sweden. I don't know why. But when I find that, I will more than likely do some videos of how to assemble your own print and play games also. I did counters for Clash of Spears a couple of weeks ago. Did a quick video of that. Using sticky back paper, and just being able to do your own counters and your own game accessories. I think that is I don't know if it should be in every person's bag of tricks, but why not? Because sometimes, like if you play, one thing I liked about first of all Games Workshop, the Epic game, the original one, was that you had this little cardboard cutout for each formation that you had, with all the information on it and all the point stats and stuff. And doing that for games that you play often, I say, why not? It's only for, of course, for personal use. It's nothing you can't really take data out from the game and try to sell that, but if you do it for personal use, then it's okay. So instead of having to, if you play the same formations over and over and over again in a game, you can just print out your own little thing and build your own reference material for games. And I think that is something more people should do. Also, like for example, if you look at the board gaming, there's a board gaming site called Board Game Geeks. They have loads and loads of fan-made like reference material and tables and stuff for loads of different games. So, and I don't see why we in the miniature wargaming community can't just emulate that and start making our own reference material. There are, of course, some legal aspects, but as long as you don't try to make money out of it, then it should be okay. So, for instance, on my favorite game, Battle Group, on their Facebook page, there is lots and lots of like data sheets and all sorts of stuff that people have built for that game, because it's not everything is perfectly explained in the rulebook, but then again, in what rulebook is everything perfectly explained? You have things like a redone, more detailed book index for the rulebook. So, because the index in the rulebook is not very good. So someone, I have no idea who, spent an hour on doing a better index for the rulebook. So, and then just put that file on the Facebook group. And I don't really see why we as a community don't do that more. Okay, 2 to go. And then we can start doing belts, I guess. And then it's left arms. See if I can find some leftover arms from another project, maybe. And I think I will move straight on to making the belts right after I've done that one. So we might be here a while today. Probably at least 1 more hour. No promises, but probably. And I saw a Storm of Steel. He has a gaming channel that is a miniature wargaming channel, and history also. He does a lot of history stuff. He usually streams on Thursday evenings and Sundays, I think. Yeah, Thursdays and Sundays. He has a interview with the people behind the God's Own Scale podcast today. So I will be watching that because I've listened to a couple of episodes of God's Own Scale and it's pretty good. I'm not super into 6mm wargaming like they are talking about, but it's still wargaming. So I usually just tune out when they talk a lot about miniatures, because 6mm miniatures is nothing that I currently want to get involved in. But they have some interesting stuff on that, and Alex also on Storm of Steel also has a lot of interesting things. He also does a usually on Sundays he does a painting stream, more or less like this one, with but with I think it has like 20-30 people watching, and it's also a lot of like regulars, so you recognize all the names after a while. So if you aren't doing anything special tonight, I suggest you go over to Storm of Steel Wargaming and having a look. I did on one of the other streams I talked about my goals for this year, since I've basically started doing a lot more with my channel that I wanted. I wanted to finish 365 28mm minis, and at the point when I set my goals, basically, I also wanted 100 subscribers, which I reached basically, I think, last week. And I had until December to reach it, so that's pretty good. So I raised the goal to 200. But now I don't say it's going to be a goal, but it would be interesting to eventually, I'm not saying now, far from now, because this channel is still very small, but it would be interesting to be a guest on someone else's stream or channel. But I think I need at least 898 more subscribers before then. But it would be interesting. I don't know if I've just noticed it lately or if it's always been like that, but it seems like people are promoting each other's channels a bit more lately than people used to do. So now all the legs are done. So now we're going to do the belt, because on several of them I had to remove the belt when I removed the left arm, but it's not all of them, so we'll just pick out the ones that I need to add a belt on. And the first ones I didn't want to have a belt, because it's not mandatory for the minis to have a belt. So we'll see how many we get up to. I don't think, well, hopefully we can, because belts are not that complicated to do. It's basically you roll out a sausage of green stuff and then flatten it with your sculpting tool, and then you just fix up the edges. So it's not a complicated thing to sculpt. So how many are these? Are 10. What time is it? 44. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break just to stand up for a bit, and I'll be back in. I'm gonna leave the stream on, but I'm just gonna have a walk around. Be back in 2 minutes. Damn it. Okay, back. I did a tiny stretch. And this is the good thing about having talking about things on streams, because Martin just sent me a place where I can buy the cardboard I was after. Nice. I guess they're not open today. It would be excellent if they were open today. Hello, Patrick. Are you playing Path of Exile? Nice. Um, I have to look if they're open today. Probably not. Oh well, I have to look at that later. They only do online shopping. But since they are here, maybe I can give them a call and just go and pick up. I will look at that later. Or tomorrow. Tomorrow, probably. Okay, so 11 guys. We're doing belts. So basically we have that, and I've done some adding to the cloth, and now we're doing the belt on that. Yeah. So basically sausage of green stuff, and then we basically just try to form that around and then we have to try to do a kind of knot thingy at the front. So something along, I don't know if you can see that, but something along those lines. And then we just have to make the knot now. And then tidy it up a bit. And the first of 11 belts are done. So for the knot, we are obviously not doing an actual one. We're doing something that just looks like a knot, basically. And for that, we can take some inspiration from one of these. Okay. So we do a even tinier sausage of green stuff. And put that in a 90-degree angle to the belt. Come on. And now we just try to form this into something that looks believable. So, I don't know if you can see that, but something like that. Okay, thank you, Martin. So the saga for the grey board continues. So now I know what mission I have tomorrow. Going to buy grey board. As long as it's not too windy, because I think the grey board they had was like 2.2 meters long, which no, it was 100 centimeters. Then it's okay. Then it won't be a large sail. This one fought me a bit because I don't think I had... I've started to become so used to having the sculpting Vaseline on the sculpting tool, so and I don't think I had enough of it or something. So now I'm just trying to tidy up all the mistakes I've done. So probably something like that. And do remember you can always remove the green stuff if you are not satisfied with your work. And some of the imperfections you can always hide with a bit of paint also. As long as you're not doing like miniatures for a basically a company that are going to make molds out of the minis. A little bit of creative painting goes a long way. So what I'm doing now is basically removing some of the excess green stuff and just cut that off with the pointy end, and then add it to this one again. So apparently the doing the knot is the hard part. Just doing the belt isn't that hard, since it's basically just one long flattened sausage. No. I wasn't 100% satisfied with that one. But I don't think I can do a lot better without just removing the whole thing. So I'm gonna leave it for a while, come back to it in a couple of in like 10 minutes, and then see if I can fix it somehow when it's dried a bit. And I'm trying to do a bit of a variation on each mini also, so it's not just, because that is one of the good things about this. You can basically decide for yourself. If you want to do anything, like want all of them to look the same or have loads of variation. Hey Franz! So we have it like that. So 6 more to go. So going back to the discussion I had at the start of this stream. Franz is one of the people who is in the chat now. He's one of the people I used to arrange tournaments with a long time ago. So something like that, I think. I was supposed to keep track of one. Was it that one? Probably. And where was I on this one? Okay. It looks like I will have some green stuff left when I've done all of these. So I might, because yesterday on the stream me and Ethwil were talking about sculpting pouches. So I might be able to throw in a quick pouch sculpting tutorial at the end when I've done all the belts. Which should be soonish, I hope. 4 left. When I've finished these ones, then it's on to the all the guys with the chainmail. I'm thinking of using Vikings as a base for the body, and try to do all the clothing material a bit longer, because when I was reading in one of the reference material books, I saw a drawing where they had basically the Vikings had more or less like these, had the whatever garment they are wearing goes to mid-thigh basically, but when I looked at the reference drawing, it went to below the knee. So I will try to make the cloth a bit longer, just extending it a bit on the Vikings. Try to make it a bit more historically correct. I guess not all the Pagan Rus looked like that, but need something for them to stand out against my Viking army. They also used a lot of like purple and pink cloth, apparently. So it's not just painting minis grey, green and brown, which will be a nice difference. Doing a bit of brighter colors. Okay, last one. Okay, so that was all the belts on 24 guys and all the pants. Let's do a quick tutorial on how to sculpt the pouch then. So first up, we take our green stuff, do basically a teardrop shaped ball in whatever size we want. And then we smush that down where we want it. You, depending on how careful you will be, you can start doing the folds now. I'm doing this a bit oversized just so it will hopefully show up on the video, but just stick it on there like that. Hopefully you can see some folds in it also. And I put that so it hopefully looks like it hangs from the belt. And then we do a round ball of green stuff. Put that on the top. Smush that down. So now we basically have the bag and a ball at the top. And then we poke a hole in the top ball and just make it look like the opening of the bag. And try to get at least a couple of folds and things. In it so it looks like it is more or less a bag opening. So something like that. And there's your pouch sculpted. Okay, that is 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I think I will sign off. Thanks to everyone who watched, and to everyone who is going to watch the or have watched the replay. And I see you tomorrow. Bye.